Howdy, Virgo. Welcome to your March 2019 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. Somebody wrote to me once and said, who, begins a reading saying howdy? And I said, well, that would be me. And no, I don't live in cowboy country, but I don't know why. I just like to say that sometimes. Okay, so this is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck that I'm using at the moment. And it's kind of fun to switch things out. I love this card so much. Look at that. That's the Nine of Swords in this deck. It's so yucky. Because that's what the Nine of Swords feels like sometimes. Real yucky. I really like I just keep repeating myself, but I love the pen and ink drawings of this deck. Some of them are black and white. It seems like a fair number of them are, but the colored ones are really, the little pops of color are really nice. And I just think it's different than some of the other decks. It was one that I instantly resonated with. And I have a bunch of decks, and I don't use some of them very often, because if I don't feel that connection with them. So the heart of the matter is the Moon card. And this could be as simple as you want to be more creative in life, you want to be more spiritual, maybe you had a meditation practice and you kind of let that slide, or you are, an artist or a writer and you kind of let go of a project that you need to get back to. And, this is the card that's connected to Pisces, even though it, the moon rules Cancer. So let's incorporate both of those signs, that this could be somebody that you're really thinking a lot about. And it doesn't have to be a lover. It could be like a child, or it could be anybody who, holds an important place in your life. But the other thing that this card represents is the area in life where we lie to each other. To ourselves, I think, most of all. It could be somebody who is being deceptive to you, though. But hopefully not you lying to other people. This is also the card of addiction. So if you know anybody who has an addiction, I'm sure most Virgos are pretty on point with their discipline, that it's not going to be you, but you may have somebody in your life. Chances are most people have somebody in their life that they're concerned about with an addiction, but maybe somebody very close to you. Is also, or mental illness can fall into this category as well. But if this is something, with the Moon card, it can be, I know there's something happening. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I know that I'm being deceived, that somebody isn't being straight with me. In the past position, we have the Son of Swords, which is Page of Swords, Knight of Swords. And this is a card of, if I had to assign a sign to it, it would be like, I always connect it with Gemini, maybe with a moon in Aries or something like that. Somebody who is pretty outspoken, but they're also coming from the intellect. So a Libra person, this is connected to lawyers or people, who's use their speaking style. It can be I think it can be writers and teachers too. I'm not 100% on that, but maybe intellectuals. And in terms of some kind of situation that is going on, this could be in terms of a legal matter. And I'm thinking even an inheritance issue. I got it wrong because I was just in my mind trying to figure this out. Sometimes I get it backwards. So your 8th house, that would involve other people's money. If your opposite sign is Virgo, then that's going to be Libra. No. I'm sorry, because I'm doing this for Virgo. So Pisces, okay, Aries. So Aries is your 8th house. Well, the sun goes into Aries on the 20th of the month. So that could definitely involve you getting involved, delving into some kind of a situation. Maybe you were kept in the dark about it, and now you're coming to realize that this is the case. And remember that at the time of a full moon, there's an opposition from the other sign. So in other words, the full moon is in Libra, and then it's opposing that 8th house. So the 2nd and 8th houses are engaged. And the 2nd house is your money. So something with money issues could come to light, the full moon light, secrets coming out. And, depending on what is revealed, it could be a little bit, I don't want to say disturbing, but definitely disappointing or something like that. And maybe a lawyer, you're engaging a lawyer to look into it. And also workplace matters. The Son of Swords could be even like a mediator or somebody who comes into the workplace to kind of be that go-between between, the boss and the employee. The higher message is, this is the card I was talking about, the 9 of Swords. Look at this monstrosity, but, it certainly is evocative, isn't it? This is the card of anxiety. What do you think? You think it depicts anxiety well enough? I think so. I think it passes the grade. I certainly feel a little bit, get those heebie-jeebies seeing that picture. And so anxiety, this is the higher message. So I don't just take it literally. I think, okay, what does this really mean? What it means is, I'll give the example with the workplace. If there's some kind of covert ops going on in the workplace and they're keeping you out of it, and you can tell, you can see that people are treating you differently, maybe coworkers, there's just a whole, it just all of a sudden the vibe changes and you feel like you're out of the loop and things like that. That is generating anxiety. However, do you even want to be in that situation? That's kind of like what sometimes I wonder about when people, do mediation and they're like, I deserve to get this promotion, or I deserve to know what's going on, and they're trying to keep it from me. It's like, I would just leave that situation, because I wouldn't want to, even if I won the case, it would be so awkward to be in that environment. Now, maybe some people just do it for the money. They get some kind of, some kind of like what do you call that? A settlement. And they can at least feel that they're compensated in that way. But I would not fight to stay in an environment where I felt like I was being treated unfairly and that secrets were being kept against me. Because it's a low morale type of situation, and it will generate anxiety too. I think that's what the spiritual message is like, don't volunteer to be in places where you are increasing your anxiety. Virgos are pretty high strung. I think most of you would agree with me. I have Moon in Virgo. I certainly feel that way. And this is because of Mercury, I believe, that Mercury creates a heightened nervous system. I don't know if that's true. I'm pretty sure that Mercury might rule the nervous system, but I'm not 100% on that. I just feel like thinking too much, being too critical about things, or, analyzing too deeply and not just kind of overanalyzing. That analysis paralysis, you know the drill. We should start a support group with people with prominent Virgo, because we could probably really go deeply into all our neurotic tendencies, right? And I'm including myself there, so don't you dare diss me. Yeah, so that might generate anxiety. Same with relationships. If you're in a relationship with somebody who has an addiction, and perhaps you have, you know, with the Son of Swords, you may have become more outspoken about this. Maybe you kind of tolerated it in the past, and now you're starting to kind of put your foot down, and yet you don't leave for whatever reason, because you feel that sense of maybe dependency or just caring about that person. When I say dependency, I should have said like codependency, like you feel like it's your job to save this person from themselves. And, you know, that's something that people have to get over. But I totally understand it. You know, I understand it. Virgos get a bad rap of like, oh, they don't care, they're not romantic or something like that. But you know what? They are more useful than somebody writing a poem in a lot of cases, because they are actually willing to get into the trenches and help people. Whereas somebody else might just want all of the good times, but not, you know, the challenging times. So anyway, what crosses you is represented by the Tower. And so I don't think, you know, what this means to me is that perhaps you are afraid of, you know, really dealing with an issue, you know, like if you have some kind of situation that you've allowed to build up, for instance. And with the Moon card, as I said, this could be kind of lying to yourself. The danger is that you're going to keep going in this situation, and then there will be that kind of inevitable, you know, blow up. And what I mean by blow up is it could be that you finally have enough, or there's a crisis. So for instance, if the Moon card is somebody's addiction, maybe it's your child's addiction, and they might be like an adult, but you know that they have some problem, or maybe they're a teenager and you're looking the other way, and then they have an overdose, or they have a DUI or something, and no longer can you deny it. That's what I'm talking about, that fear of really looking at what's going on, and that denial can lead to the situation just getting more serious until something has to give. And same thing with the workplace. And, you know, this could even be something within you, like you lose your temper, or you, you know, yeah, I mean, something like that with losing your temper, where you allow it to build up so much that then you just like totally lose it, and you burn bridges. And that's something that you might be adverse to do. So that's why you're trying to tolerate something, but then you're still angry about it, or just, you know, full of angst about it. And see, there's my my Moon and Virgo tendencies coming out here. Okay, what's coming in is represented by the Son of Cups. So again, suns are knights. And, you know, here's another card that is connected to Pisces. So again, in this particular case, I think that what's coming in, if you're an artist, you are feeling that sense of, I need to create. By the way, if you're an artist, the Tower card can mean that you're just like not, you know, neglecting your talents, and it affects your well-being. Because some people who are creative, they have to do it. But sometimes they may not feel motivated to do it because they're not in a position to be able to share it with others for whatever reason. But you have to. If you're an artist, you have to create. Even if it's on a small scale and nobody is going to be looking at it. Definitely don't neglect your creative juices flowing. And if there's a love situation, the Page of Cups it can be about gullibility, but it can be about to me, it can be a card of like total non-judgment, which is beautiful. I think that, and I don't even know if I'm correct about that. I just, if this is a card that's connected to Pisces, and that's how I would interpret it, is not looking down on somebody, but wanting to help them, wanting them to improve and get better, you know what I mean? And maybe being a healer for them and just loving them where they're at. And that's a lot different. Loving somebody with an addiction or mental illness where they're at is a lot different than being in denial. It's not being in denial. You know exactly what is going on with them, and you don't care. You're not going to abandon them, and that's fine. You know, I mean, it's when people like try to act like, oh, there's that person doesn't have any problems. They're just tired, or they're just frustrated, and that's why they're acting so unusually. You know, no, it's knowing that they have problems, but you still believe in them. And the outcome is the Four of Wands. This is a card that's connected with a new home, I would say, or marriage, or something like this. I would say that, you know, this could even be like this could be even a relationship with a Pisces individual that has nothing to do with addiction. Not all Pisces people have addictions. Or I could say even a Cancer, but I think it's more Pisces with the Son of Cups. But, oh yeah, Knight of Cups. I think I kept saying Page of Cups, so we don't know that is Pisces specifically. Page of Cups, I know, is Pisces. But this is, you know, the Knight of Cups can actually be connecting with somebody artistically, which would be wonderful. So if you're somebody who, let's say you're a singer-songwriter, the Knight of Cups could be a singer-songwriter. And maybe the two of you can make beautiful music together, and I'm not even talking about romantically, but that could happen too. So maybe this is somebody you meet at open mic, and you are going to marry this person. I'm not saying you're going to marry them in March, but that this could lead to something really beautiful, and something that is where it brightens up your home life. Again, I mean, with creativity, if you're doing something creative, you may feel that you're enjoying your home. You know, there's a domestic influence with the Four of Wands. And so maybe you were working in a different environment, a corporate environment, for instance, and now you have the time. With the Knight of Cups, this could be an offer that you receive, and maybe you're going to be telecommuting or doing a lot more from home. Maybe this is even like the type of job where if it's your own business, the own thing that you're creating, you have somebody who's willing to like showcase your jewelry, if that's what it is, and in their stores, and so you landed a contract. So the Knight of Cups can be an offer that is presented to you, and so that you feel the sense of domestic bliss, but there's an enthusiasm here. There's a creative vibe with Wands, but independence as well. Who knows? Maybe you're buying a new home, and you're just feeling that sense of excitement because somebody has taken your offer, or is offering you a good price for the home. So either you're selling it or buying it. But I think it's more like buying a new home. So maybe you're able to you know, negotiate a great price on a new home. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I mean, I'm so sorry, Virgo. I hope that you enjoyed this. And if you would like a private reading, the link is below. Have a great month. Take care. Bye.